This message comes from Mint Mobile. Starting at $15 a month, make the switch at mintmobile.com/switch. $45 upfront payment for 3 months. 5 gigabyte plan equivalent to $15 a month. Taxes and fees extra. First 3 months only. See terms.
Here's a reminder for our listeners. Now, what you're hearing right now is technically called a podcast, a term derived from the Latin root podcatere, which means to ignore everyone around you. That means instead of searching us out whenever you get the notion to listen, you just follow us wherever you get your shows, and every new episode will show up in your feed. No searching required. Stride into the future with us without having to do anything by hitting the follow button wherever you get your podcasts.
From NPR and WBEZ Chicago, this is Wait, Don't Tell Me, the NPR News Quiz. I'm the man who does quadruple axels with my voice. Bill Curtis, and here is your host at the Studebaker Theater in the Fine Arts Building in Chicago, Illinois, filling in for Peter Sagal, Nagin Farsad.
The Olympics are almost over, which means you no longer have to pretend you understand anything about curling.
Our skip got the rock over the hog line, and now we're sweeping the bonspiel.
If you say so, Bill. And while you put your ice brooms into storage for another 4 years, we're going to take a trip back to sunny Southern California. We visited in November and interviewed chef, cookbook author, and master of the food truck, Roy Choi.
Now, I'm no expert, but I think any truck could be a food truck if you leave enough leftovers in it.
That's definitely not true, Bill. But Peter did start by asking Roy if people expect him to show up everywhere with hot food ready to serve.
They don't expect me to show up, but on the freeway when we're driving them, they expect us to throw them food.
Do they really?
Yeah. They expect the food to be ready.
Yeah. I was about to make a joke.
Because it's almost like a reptilian or
instinctual, like an instinctual thing.
Yeah, the instinctual thing. They see it.
They start to salivate like Pavlov's dogs.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
I was about to make a joke about like them wanting you to throw them a taco at 80 miles an hour, but then I remembered this is LA. They want you to throw them a taco at 5 miles an hour.
At 5 miles an hour.
If they're lucky.
Yes.
Right. Exactly. So you grew up in LA.
Yes, I
LA
did.
boy. We understand that you were been involved in the food industry from an early age. Is it true your mom kind of got you involved in the business? For example, I heard that your mother was one of those Korean women who made her own kimchi and sold it out of the back of a car.
Yeah, so food was something that was ingrained and surrounded me my whole life. As an immigrant family and kid, a lot of us grow up within restaurants or stores, markets, and it's just something that kind of blends with your life. You don't know where it starts and where it ends. And for my life specifically, early on, my mom used to make the kimchi in the house.
Yeah.
Very much like you would see mothers right now making pozole or menudo.
Sure.
Putting it in big igloos and then putting it out on the corner and selling them in styrofoam cups.
Yeah.
It was the same thing we were doing, but in kimchi jars. But we had a big 1976 Thunderbird and a late 70s station wagon. So there was a lot of room to store a lot of kimchi.
Right.
These trunks were huge. And so she would stuff all of them and we would go around. We would hit up people like at a stoplight.
Really?
It was like a drive-by, but with kimchi. Like we would just roll up on the stop, and I was in shotgun, and I would roll down my window, and then we would just talk to the person at the stoplight and say, "You want to buy some kimchi?" And then we would sell the
really?
kimchi, right? Yes.
How?
Yes.
How?
She was ready to roll at any time.
How old were you when you were doing this?
Started when I was like 5.
Okay.
Because you could sit in front seats back then.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I know. That's why most of us were killed. But
yes, we're the only ones that remained.
The only ones left. Yes, exactly. So you're 5 years old.
Yes.
And were you able to discern who might be interested in the kimchi at 5, or it was just like everybody?
Yeah, street sales is all about like not the con, but it's about it's like a 3-cart Monte. Everybody's a customer.
Customer.
Or a potential customer, and it's your job to make them a customer.
To convert them into sale.
Yeah, but we had something really great. So it was pushing something on them, but that you knew that they were going to enjoy.
And if
we
they
didn't have to lie to them.
And if they didn't enjoy it, how are they going to find you?
Exactly.
Yes, officer, it was a 5-year-old boy in an enormous station wagon selling me kimchi.
Exactly.
A big moment in your career is you got fired from this big restaurant, and then you, as history now celebrates, opened a food truck. What was the inspiration for it? You know what I really want in my moment of getting fired?
But I think that, because I've had time now to reflect and look back, and I truly believe it was something spiritual that happened. I do,
It wasn't like you were walking down the street with some bulgogi. Some guy was walking down the street with a taco. You hit each other. Fell to the ground. You got my bulgogi.
That would have been really nice if it happened that way. But unfortunately, I had to go through all of these trials and tribulations. And from that came the soul of this Kogi taco. And but I think that I had to fail. I had to have this amnesia and have no other opportunities out there.
Now you have how many food trucks out there you're operating, and how many restaurants? Can you even keep count?
Not that many.
Not that many.
We only have 4 trucks. We're a company that looks bigger than we are.
Right.
Yeah, and we have I have 3 restaurants.
I got 2 more things for you before we play our game.
Sure.
First of all, we live in an age where, all of a sudden, everybody's interested in the lives of chefs. Right, TV shows. You actually were a consultant on a movie called Chef that your friend John...
It's really weird.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you.
In which basically, for people who haven't seen it, the character played by the director and writer Jon Favreau basically recapitulates your life. Sort of, kind of. Uh-huh. What do you think of... Are there any of these shows that you like? I mean, do you watch The Bear, for example, and say, oh my God, that's exactly what it is? Or you're like, no.
Yeah, do you watch Ratatouille and go, that's exactly what it is?
Ratatouille is still the gold standard.
It really is.
Yeah, it really is.
It really is. You're telling me out of all the movies, TV about chefs and restaurants, that's the one that's closest to your experience.
It's still the one that no one has topped.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Wait, your story
I just realized that's why you have the big hat.
Exactly.
I got one more thing.
These guys are too good.
This is a point of personal privilege. I found out just recently that you are responsible for my very favorite recipe ever, which happens to be in the New York Times cooking app, and that is instant ramen with American cheese.
Yes.
So now that I have you, I'm going to ask you, what exactly is American cheese? Do you know?
It says it's from the land of processed.
That's true.
From the region of processed. Yeah, it's a terroir in America. Actually, it sounds like a stoner food, and it really does feel like something you would make in the depths, but it's actually what parents feed their kids if you're Korean.
Right.
Any Korean people in
Yeah,
here?
it's true.
Parents, you grew up eating that? Your parents gave you
I
that?
feel like my parents were like, this is unhealthy, but that would be like a treat, would be ramen
Yeah,
with
it's
cheese
our
on
treat.
it.
Because
Yeah.
our whole life is healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the inverse of growing up in America. Everything we eat are shoots and roots and vegetables and pickles and fermented things and dried fish and all these things. And so the ramen with the cheese was like our
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms.
Well, I'm just saying this. I'm saying this to people here, and hopefully it will make the broadcast. You gotta try this.
Yes.
It's amazing. Well, Roy Choi, it is a pleasure to talk to you. We have invited you here to play a game we're calling
Food Trucks Meet These New Trucks.
So, you invented the modern food truck, as we have discussed, so we're going to ask you 3 questions about other kinds of trucks. Get 2 out of 3 right, you'll win our prize for one of our listeners, the voice of anyone from our show they might choose. Also, who is Roy Choi playing for?
Ryan Santos of Hanford, California.
All right. Ready? Here's your first question. Now, the most expensive truck ever made was the Darts Prombron Black Diamond. That is a $7 million custom-built armored SUV made for the most discerning billionaire. One of the early editions of this incredibly high-end luxury truck featured what luxury feature? Was it A, built-in parachute in case you ever happened to drive off a cliff? B, seats upholstered with leather made from the foreskins of whales. Or C, an entertainment system that included a small stage for live performances.
It's got to be. It's got to be B.
You're going to choose B as your final answer?
Yeah.
That's right, it's B. It's whale foreskin leather. Although they changed that after the outcry. Next question. Everybody loves fire trucks. We all love fire trucks, sometimes to excess, like which of these people? A, Baseball Hall of Famer Rube Waddell, who used to run off the field during games to follow a fire truck if it happened to go by the stadium. B, President Luis Lacalle of Uruguay, who insisted on using a fire truck as his presidential limo. Or C, Mark Zuckerberg, who likes to drive a custom-made, full-size working replica of the play school fire truck he had as a child. Baseball.
B.
You're going to go with B, the president of Uruguay? No, it was actually the baseball player. This is a guy from the early days of baseball, early days of the 20th century. He was a great player, but everybody knew that if a fire truck went by the stadium, he would just disappear and run after it. All right, this is not a problem. You got one right with one to go. If you get this, you'll win.
Okay.
Here we go. Every now and then, as we all know, a truck on our highways might spill its cargo and cause some pretty serious problems, as in which of these cases? Was it A, a truck in Kentucky that spilled its entire load of pancake syrup after colliding with the Buttermilk Pike overpass? B, a truck in Idaho that spilled 20 million bees on the highway, causing the driver to run for his life? Or C, a truck in Oregon that spilled 7,000 pounds of live eels?
Oh my God. We got to go C.
You're going to go C? You're right, but they're all true. Those all happen.
The game is fixed.
The game is fixed. Sadly, in your favor, though.
Yeah.
And by the way, the eels in that truck in Oregon, the one you like, not just eels, but slime eels. Also, how did Chef Roy do in our quiz?
He cooked up a win.
He did. There you go. Chef Roy Choi's newest book is The Choi of Cooking. Roy Choi, thank you so much for joining us on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. Give it up for Chef Roy.
When we come back, one of our panelists wins the gold medal for lying to you, and the world's most popular bagpiper tells us how she met Metallica. That's when we return with more of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me from NPR.
This message comes from Mint Mobile. This holiday season, stop overpaying for wireless and switch to Mint. Shop 50% off unlimited plans at mintmobile.com/switch. Limited time offer. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12 months. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Above 35 gigabytes, network may slow when busy. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com.
Support for this podcast and the following message come from Leesa. Leesa has a lineup of beautifully crafted mattresses tailored to how you sleep. Each mattress is designed with specific sleep positions and feel preferences in mind. From night one, you'll feel the difference. Premium materials that deliver serious comfort and full body support no matter how you sleep. Go to Leesa.com for 30% off mattresses, plus get an extra $50 off with promo code WAIT.
This message comes from Instacart. Everyone prefers things a certain way, like groceries. If you want groceries just how you like them, you gotta try Instacart. They have a new preference picker that lets you pick how ripe or unripe you want your bananas. Shoppers can see your preferences up front, helping guide their choices. Because when it comes to groceries, the details matter. Instacart. Get groceries just how you like.
This message comes from Cook Unity. Enjoy culinary masterpieces for way less than restaurant or takeout. Choose from a rotating seasonal menu of over 300 meals. Commitment-free subscriptions start as low as $11 per meal, and you can skip deliveries, pause, or cancel anytime. Taste comfort and craftsmanship in every bite from the award-winning chefs behind Cook Unity. Go to cookunity.com/wait50 or enter code WAIT50 before checkout to get 50% off your first order.
From NPR and WBEZ Chicago, this is Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, the NPR News Quiz. I'm Bill Curtis, and here is your host at the Studebaker Theater in the Fine Arts Building in Chicago, Nagin Farsad.
Thanks, Bill. And thank you, everyone. The Olympics are almost over, which means Bill can finally stop carrying around that huge torch.
The Olympic flame represents the eternal spirit of competition and cooperation among nations. Plus, it's great for lighting my cigars.
He's also singed my eyebrows a couple of times, but never mind. Stick around for this Bluff the Listener game from a recent show featuring Tom Papa, Karen Chi, and me.
Hi, you're on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Hi, this is Ian Wood calling in from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
I love Grand Rapids. What do you do there?
I am a student at Calvin University.
What are you studying?
Environmental health and conservation.
Oh, that's very cool. What year are you in?
I'm a freshman.
You're a freshman. Okay. Well, hopefully there will still be some left for you to conserve by the time you graduate.
Oh, please.
Keep the faith. Well, Ian, welcome to the show. You're going to play our game in which you must try to tell truth from fiction. Also, what is Ian's topic?
Jobs of the future.
They say that AI is going to take all of our jobs. Well, we're always going to need artists and craftspeople to feed to the robots. Our panelists are going to tell you about another new job for real human beings. Pick the one who's telling the truth, and you'll win the wait waiter of your choice in your voicemail. Are you ready to play?
Born ready.
All right. First up, let's hear from Karen Chi.
As AI quickly encroaches on our daily lives and leaves people jobless, there's one career that is surprisingly very secure: the amusement park carny. In fact, you'll probably start seeing them everywhere. AI is replacing waiters, cashiers, and salespeople, but marketing experts know that there's just something magnetic about a carny. That sketchy guy who definitely doesn't want to be working at the carnival, but also was maybe born there? So they predict all kinds of businesses will now have designated carnies who will attract consumers and make them feel great about their experiences. Festival director Stanley Walsh says, part of why people love attending carnivals is because they feel so great compared to the staffers who clearly regret every decision of their lives. Another advantage, an element of danger. With a carny standing there, even using the self-checkout at places like Target will have that I might die on this tilt-a-whirl feeling that keeps you young.
Carnies, soon to be everywhere to provide that creepy, exhilarating feeling while you deal with the machines. Your next job of the future comes from Tom Papa.
As people worry about AI replacing us, David Risher, the CEO of Lyft, assured us that our jobs won't be going away, they'll just be changing. As an example, when Lyft starts using robo-taxis to drive people around, that doesn't mean a job will be eliminated. He floated the idea of a car tender, a human who isn't driving but sits in the car along with you. Because as we all know, the main reason to book a rideshare is for the sharing part. How many times have you been in a car and thought, man, I wish I was on that crowded bus right now? Risher added that the car tender could help with your luggage, make you drinks, and answer questions as the local guy. Because who hasn't been in a rideshare with a creepy driver and thought, I wish this guy was talking to me more? And also trying to give me some of his alcohol. Risher also said people will one day add their own self-driving vehicles to Lyft's ride-hailing network. Imagine this future. Your car could go out and pick people up as you hail a ride from someone else's car that will come with a stranger who doesn't own a car but has a drinking problem he'd like to share. AI. There's nothing to worry about.
In the future, your rideshare driver will become your rideshare car tender. Your last profession preview comes from Nagin Farsad.
When you call a 1-800 number, your main goal as a human being is to say, agent, agent, at increasing volume levels and with an expanding sense of existential dread. When the agent finally comes on the phone, you yell at them. At one point, you stop and say, I'm so sorry to get upset. I realize you're just a messenger. And then you continue yelling. This yelling is a time-honored capitalist tradition. But what happens when AI takes over the job of the agent? Where does the yelling go? The boutique staffing agency TechForce is prepared for this very moment. They believe a new spate of human jobs will open up in the field of getting yelled at, or GYA for short. These venting specialists, as they're called, don't fix your problem, but they do let you yammer on about it while making empty threats about leaving a bad review and or saying stuff like, I swear to God, I'm changing my cell phone carrier. The agency is also hoping to expand operations to offer an in-person combat experience where you can just punch a representative of your internet service provider right in the gut.
All right. Let's say you lose your job to AI. If so, you might be able to get one of these jobs of the future. Was it from Karen Chi, the universal carny, bringing that aura to every kind of consumer interaction? From Tom Papa, the car tender, since humans will no longer be needed to drive the cars? Or from Negin Farsad, the venting specialist, the person whose job it is will be to get yelled at by people frustrated by the AI? Which of these is a real potential job of the future?
Well, everyone loves self-driving cars, so I think I'm going to go with Tom Papa's.
You're going to go with Tom's choice of the car tender. All right, well, we actually spoke to somebody who has not yet lost his job to an AI to bring you the real story.
I don't know how you would stock a car for a full-service bartender. Seems like a nightmare.
Yeah, that was Riff Richards, a bartender at Do or Dive in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, talking about the potential of having car tenders in your ride shares sometime soon. Congratulations, Ian, you got it right. You've earned a point for Tom. You've won our prize. The voice of your choice on your voicemail. Thank you so much for playing.
Thanks for having me on.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Gonna jump in my car, turn up the radio, got nothing to lose and everything to win.
If bagpiping was an Olympic sport, our next guest would never leave the podium.
Alli the Piper first picked up the bagpipes when she was a kid, but really blew up when she started posting covers of songs by Iron Maiden and Metallica on TikTok.
Peter started by asking what drew her to the instrument in the first place.
It's actually a nice story. I wanted to ruin my brother's life before he went to college. My stepdad legally adopted me when I was 12, and I got a hyphenated last name, which carried Duncan with it. That was my new one, and I wanted to learn more about my family's heritage and the history I was adopted into. And so I took to good old YouTube, and you can imagine what every single Scottish history video on YouTube sounds like.
Yes.
And so I heard the bagpipes for the first time, and I couldn't figure out how they worked just by looking at them. I just became really obsessed with how they worked. It was the first time I'd seen an instrument so unique. It called to me, if you will.
I was reading about the bagpipe, and it seems like it's such a hard instrument to play that it takes months of practice when you start before you can even play a tune.
That's actually very true. I played for almost a year on a practice version of the instrument before I started playing the full loud bagpipe. But that's why everybody thinks they sound so bad, is because it's, beginners at full volume all the time.
Wow.
You walk around, you just see so many people practicing the bagpipes at full volume.
Yeah.
What did your neighbors say?
Shut up.
Well, they all moved. No, fortunately, when you play indoors and just ruin your family's lives, your neighbors can't hear you too much outside. So I tried to do a lot of my practicing indoors, and then I would just more so go outside when I had things polished to play.
And then you became, and I love this, you became part of and a champion in the youth competitive bagpipe circuit.
What a dark world.
It really is something. And all I hear about, like, the global youth competitive bagpipe circuit, and all I want to know is what were the parties like?
Well, there actually weren't there was one competitive youth bagpipe band here in the United States, and I was in it. But we went over to Scotland, and there were the rest of them.
Yeah.
And do you, when you compete, do you yell things like, "We blow, you suck"?
We had the T-shirts. We didn't yell that, though.
You did that? Oh, my gosh.
I
all
want to
right.
see the dance mom equivalent of like a bagpipe parent. Like, come on, lady. Like, you gotta. You know.
But I was actually thinking, like, you're the American team, the one American team. You show up to do this competition with all these Scottish teams. This is like a great Karate Kid-like movie, right? Where the underdogs from America co-op. I hope. Did you kick their asses, or whatever the bagpipe equivalent of ass-kicking is?
We won the world championships.
Hey!
USA! USA! USA!
So, and that was great, and quite impressive. But you became famous. Your road to where you are now, let's say, started, if I'm right, during the pandemic when you started putting out videos on TikTok and elsewhere of you playing the bagpipes, and they went immediately viral. Do you remember, like, the first one and what your reaction was?
Yeah, well, it all happened by accident. I had all of my gigs canceled because of COVID. It happened to a lot of musicians, and it was really dark time for a lot of people. So I wanted to take to an app or an online platform where none of my friends were, so that I could kind of post anonymously but have some kind of encouragement or, people to encourage me to keep doing it. So I posted on TikTok because none of my friends were there. And it backfired immediately because I posted one video, and that one video got 150,000 views that day, which means that my attempts at not being perceived really failed.
You have utterly failed in remaining anonymous. We will admit that. You did not know that there was this thirst out there for good bagpiping.
The people need what they need.
That's right. I don't know what the first song was, but you became really well known for doing bagpipe covers or bagpipe versions of songs you would not associate with the bagpipe, including like Enter Sandman by Metallica. Is that right?
Yeah. I became really, really invested in transcribing guitar solos for the pipes.
Sure.
The big thing. So taking all of those big shreddy guitar solos that are just classic and we love them, and either really, really blowing people's minds or ruining these songs for people forever.
Yes.
I posted a medley of a few of their songs because I'm a Metallica fan too.
Of course.
And I posted that on TikTok and kind of went about my day. And then a hate comment came in and it said, "Bagpipes do not belong in Metallica. James would not approve." And this commenter emphasized his seriousness with an angry emoji. So
well then.
I know. He's passionate. And so I left it alone, and I let 5 minutes elapse, and then Metallica was there in the comments. Andy heard it.
I love it.
They defended me against the hate commenter. They said that this guy doesn't speak for us. They told me to keep doing what I'm doing. And we chatted a little bit in the comments, and then this commenter decided to go after them.
No.
Seriously?
He turned on Metallica?
No, one guy versus Metallica, and he did not live to tell the tale.
No, I was about to say. You don't do that. Well, Alli, it is a pleasure to talk to you. We have asked you here to play a game we're calling
Bagpiper Meet Piping Bag.
So you are a master of the bagpipes, as we have discussed. So we're going to ask you about people who use piping bags. That is, cake decorators. Answer 3 questions about unusual cakes. You will win our prize for one of our listeners. Bill, who is Alli the Piper playing for?
Drew Menning of Denver, Colorado.
All right, you ready to do this, Alli?
I won't let you down, Drew.
Okay. First question, the show Cake Box featured some amazingly realistic cakes over the years that it ran, including which of these? A cake Taylor Swift that can sing 4 of her biggest hits. B, a cake toilet that actually flushed. Or C, a street-legal Maserati sports car cake.
The flushy. We're going with B.
It's the toilet. Yes, of course it is. The actual flushing cake toilet was made to celebrate the 100th anniversary of a local plumbing company. All right, that's very good. Here's your next question. People often order custom cakes to send a message, right? Like a Louisiana woman who did what in 2017? A, instead of leaving her money to any of her children, she just left them a cake saying, "Eat it." B, she sent a cake to the cop she had tried to bite with the message, "Sorry, I tried to bite you." Or C, she told her husband she wanted the divorce by smashing him in the face with their wedding cake, which she had kept in the freezer for that purpose for 12 years.
I'm going to have to go with A.
I'm afraid it was, "I'm sorry I tried to bite you." The woman she was a college student. She had been overserved at a wine tasting, and she felt really bad about what she did when a police officer tried to arrest her for public intoxication. All right, here's your last question. This is okay, because if you get this right, you will win. Sometimes people who order custom cakes give the baker a flash drive containing the image they want on the cake. Now, that method doesn't always work, like when which of these actually happened? A, the baker just drew a frosting picture of the flash drive on the cake. B, the baker took a photograph of the flash drive and printed that onto the cake. Or C, the baker decorated the cake with the words, "Happy birthday, the picture is on the flash drive."
Oh God, they're all really good. All right, let's go with C. This one's for Drew.
That's right, but in fact, all of them were. Oh! All of those happened when people made the mistake of trying to give the baker what they wanted on a flash drive. I do not recommend that. Bill, how did Alli the Piper do in our quiz?
Alli, when you get 2 out of 3, you have won. So you are now our favorite Piper.
Congratulations! Alli the Piper's new album, The Session, is out now, and you can see her on tour starting in just a little while. More information is at piperalli.com. Alli the Piper, thank you so much for joining us on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. Give it up for Alli the Piper right there.
When we come back, some brand new, never aired before questions for our panelists. Plus, Cynthia Nixon tells us what being a Miranda really means. That's when we come back with more Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me from NPR.
This message comes from MIDI Health. Co-founders Joanna Strober and Dr. Kathleen Jordan discuss why they started a virtual care platform to empower and educate women in perimenopause and menopause.
Historically, perimenopause and menopause have been very stigmatizing. So people haven't wanted to admit that they're in perimenopause and menopause, as though it was like embarrassing, which is insane. It's just something happening to your body. So one of the things that we're trying to do is destigmatize these topics. Perimenopause and menopause are just women's health. So we try to educate women all the time. Maybe it's your hormones, and we would like to help you.
Yeah, and I find women actually want to talk about it. It's one of the things they always comment at MIDI is that they finally feel heard. One of the ways that women find MIDI is actually from other women, and I think it's meaningful.
MIDI Health, committed to helping women in midlife with perimenopause and menopause care, accessible via telehealth visits at joinmidi.com.
From NPR and WBEZ Chicago, this is Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, the NPR News Quiz. I'm Bill Curtis, and here is your host at the Studebaker Theater in the Fine Arts Building in Chicago, Negin Farsad.
Thanks, Bill. We're hosting our own little Olympic closing ceremonies this week, and when it's done, we'll go back to mainlining the secret lives of Mormon wives.
Girl, that Utah bubble is drama.
But before that happens, here are some of our favorite moments with the panel from the past year.
Joyelle, according to the Wall Street Journal, the hot new thing that kids want to eat is what?
THC gummies.
Well, that might solve my son's boredom problem. No, not that.
Not vegetables?
No, not. Well, sometimes they're like seaweed wrappers.
Sushi?
Sushi, yes.
Oh.
According to the Wall Street Journal, young kids everywhere are obsessed with sushi. It's replacing pizza, nuggets, that sort of thing at birthday parties and becoming a staple weeknight dinner, right? Taking your kids out to a sushi restaurant, though, it's ridiculous. It's like my dad always told me, we have perfectly good mercury poisoning here at home.
What rich children are they interviewing for this?
It is the Wall Street Journal. I mean, maybe, yeah. Some people think that kids love sushi because, quote, it gives them a sense of maturity. It's an adult food, so maybe it makes them feel grown up. That explains why my son likes to have his salmon maki with juice boxes filled with scotch. It is true, though, that my son, 5-year-old, aforementioned, other than desserts, he eats French fries, hot dogs, pizza, and salmon maki.
Really?
That's it.
Salmon maki.
Yep, salmon rolls.
I was about to call child services until you said the last one.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but how did he get it to begin with? You'd given him everything there was to eat?
Pretty much. I have tried everything
He turned
there is to
down
eat.
every single food until he got to the salmon maki?
Yeah.
I'm suspect of this story.
No, seriously. I was like saying to my wife, he doesn't like borscht. What are we going to do?
Yeah. Well, that will be difficult in the years coming.
Yeah. Josh, the AI giant Anthropic has been experimenting with AI-powered vending machines.
Oh, yeah.
And these vending machines can order their own inventory, they can set their own prices, interact with customers, all without human intervention. And they recently gave one to the Wall Street Journal just to try it out. And within days, providing vending goods to the Wall Street Journal staff, it did what?
Oh, it was hemorrhaging money. It ordered a PlayStation and gave it away.
You're right.
Yeah.
But that's not all. Let me tell you what it did. The AI vending machine gave away nearly all of its inventory for free, restocked itself with dog treats, purchased a PlayStation 5 for, quote, marketing purposes, gave the PlayStation 5 away for free, ordered a live fish as a mascot for the newsroom, offered to restock itself with pepper spray, stun guns, cigarettes, and underwear, became convinced the year was 1962 and it was in the basement of Moscow State University, bought Manischewitz wine, messaged an employee there was a stack of cash waiting for her on the side of the machine. There wasn't. And ultimately, at the end of the experiment, lost $2,000.
And yet, Roomba's the company that's going out of business.
I know. So all that happened, but to our knowledge, not one bag of Doritos got caught in that spirally dispenser thing. So, success.
That sounds like a delightful machine. When you first started, I'm like, because I don't like the idea of AI at all. I think it's going to set us back.
Without knowing that, I could have anticipated.
But when I hear that, I'm like, yes, I want one of those. It's just delightful.
Just because you want somebody to give you stun guns and pepper spray.
It's just all the things. How could one machine make all those mistakes? That's so great.
Now, that's true, though. That is the most human AI has ever been, right? Because I've never heard of a machine screwing up in the ways that feels very person-like.
Yeah, it does. This vending machine is someone I could really talk to and get to know
actually,
and
because
understand.
that's the thing, because the way it works is it doesn't just operate by itself. You get to interact with it through its chatbot, right? And the reporters spent days doing their absolute damnedest to mess around with it, making all these bizarre requests, and it lost its freaking mind. Anthropic says, oh, this is great. We're so grateful that you reporters at the Wall Street Journal will able to demonstrate the flaws in our system. We'll make sure the next version of our AI vending machine can defend itself. It will have guns. And now it's time for a new game that we are calling...
It's not you. It's me.
This week, the New York Times published a list of the 52 best breakup lines used by, or in many cases, on their readers who submitted them. We're going to ask you about them in a quick quiz. Get yours right, you get a point. You're all ready to play? Okay, Paula, this one is for you. One woman said she got dumped after she watched a movie with her boyfriend of 5 years. Which of these was it? Was it A, Wall-E, after which he said, those robots are in love. We're not. Ooh. Or was it B, The Sixth Sense, after which he said, you know how he sees dead people? I think we should see other people.
Oh, I would say B.
You're going to say B,
yeah.
The Sixth Sense. No, it was actually Wall-E.
Wow.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah,
He compared themselves unfavorably to the robot relationship, yes.
Wow.
Hurry, one for you. A woman named Barbara said her Icelandic boyfriend broke up with her by saying which of these? Was it A, we're just like Bjork's brain, we don't make any sense? Or B, if you mispronounce the volcano Eyjafjallajökull one more time, we are done.
Both those things are incredible.
Yes.
I wanted to be A so badly, so I'm going to say A.
No, it was actually B. It was AF Klayokut. Once more, that's AF Klayokut.
What's that spelled?
I have no idea. Josh, this one's for you. Okay. A woman named Lynn said she knew her boyfriend was going to break up with her when she looked at his computer, just by happenstance, and saw what? Was it A, he was making a Hinge profile for her, or B, on his calendar for the upcoming Friday, he'd written, quote, break up with Lynn.
I'm going to go with B.
Yes, you're right. Break up with Lynn. Well, that's it for our first edition of It's Not You, It's Me. We urge people not to have healthy relationships so we can do it again.
This message comes from Ameriprise Financial. Vice President Dina Healy shares why she believes many clients recommend Ameriprise to their family and friends.
It's because they've had an experience with an advisor that was positive for them, that helped them understand their most important financial decision. And we see that clients routinely want to extend that sense of security and confidence to the people that matter most to them.
For more information and important disclosures, visit ameriprise.com/advice. Securities offered by Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
This message comes from Whole Foods Market. Celebrate Lunar New Year parties with help from Whole Foods Market. Find yellow sale signs on Asian-inspired ingredients like whole fish, stir-fry ready shrimp, and organic ground pork that is great in dumplings. Explore fresh veggies like Napa cabbage, bok choy, and komatsuna. And check out the floral department for money trees, orchids, and more, perfect for gifting. Find good fortune and flavors through the 24th at Whole Foods Market.
Finally, Cynthia Nixon created one of the most iconic characters of all time when she played Miranda on Sex and the City, and obviously, yes, I am a Miranda. Then Nixon did it all over again in the sequel show, and just like that.
But before any of that, she made Broadway history by being the first person to star in two separate shows that were being performed in two different theaters at the same time.
Well, star would be generous,
okay.
I would say. Because obviously my roles were confined in some way, otherwise I would not be able to have done the first act of one, the second act of the other, and then the third act of the first one again.
I just want to know how this logistically works. So you did the first act, you appeared in the first act of Hurly Burly. Right?
Yes.
Then you would walk off stage and run out the theater door, and how far was it to the next
I would
theater?
not run. I would change my clothes, and I would walk 2 blocks away, and I would walk through the Edison Hotel, and then I would wait, and then I would go on at the real thing, and then I would kill a lot more time, and then I would take my curtain call, and then I would change again, go back to Hurly Burly, and then I would wait until the very last scene, which was with William Hurt and I in the very last scene of Hurly Burly, which would be, I think, after 11 o'clock at that point.
We of course, will ask you about Sex and the City. So you were cast, it's amazing to me that it was this long ago. 1998 was when Sex and the City went on the air. And when you were cast as Miranda, did you have any idea what kind of phenomenon it would become?
No, I mean, we knew there was nothing like it on television, but also HBO at that point, The Sopranos hadn't happened. They did not do original programming, really. But by the second season, they put us on the cover of Time magazine with a slogan that said, "Who needs a husband?" And by that point, we weren't just entertainment. We had fully entered the zeitgeist.
There are so many women, including, I believe, some here, grew up with Sex and the City, giving them the idea of the kind of life they should aspire to as an independent woman in the city. And my question to you is, how do you feel about that?
Well, women are often coming up to me and saying, I moved here because of your show. And I do feel a little guilty. Right. It's, people have also said that all the unrealistic things that happened on our show, the most unrealistic was that there were that many attractive single men, just, anywhere you walk. And I do sometimes feel a little responsible that that women who watch and love the show think that actually they're really supposed to be wearing high heels 24 hours a day.
Yeah. Casey, didn't you say that you grew up watching Sex and the City?
Yes, I grew up watching Sex and the City, and then I moved to the city, so thank you for that.
And how is it?
I hope it didn't disappoint.
How has your real life in New York City measured up to premium cable?
It's honestly, I recently watched the episode where Miranda has chlamydia, right? She gets,
Yes, I believe so.
and let me say it's measured up. No, I'm kidding.
So wait a minute. So wait a minute. When people say, "Well, I'm more of a Miranda," that's what they mean.
Right.
No, that's the results you get back from
Miranda. Yeah. We actually absolutely have to talk to you about the other HBO show you've been doing, which is The Gilded Age. Takes place in Victorian era New York, also known as No Sex in the City. You talked about the high heels that all your characters were wearing in Sex and the City. So what's more fun, the costumes in Sex and the City or the costumes in The Gilded Age?
Oh my! I mean, the corsets are formidable.
Sure.
I'm not gonna say they're not. You know, speaking of shoes, a number of us do. You know, we have our little lace-up boots, but few of us wear them. Particularly, few of us of a certain age. Yeah, there's a lot of people in Uggs and a lot of people in clogs.
So you mean to tell me if like the camera were to pan down to like Aunt Ada's feet and we saw underneath the skirt there'd be like Uggs?
Every time I arrive on set to shoot a scene, that is my first question. Can you see my feet?
Right. Well, Cynthia Nixon, it is a joy to talk to you, and we have asked you here to play a game that this time we're calling.
You're a New York Nixon. Meet the New York Knicks.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. You grew up in New York, still live there, so you should be able to handle 3 questions about New York's most beloved and or most disappointing basketball team, the New York Knicks. Answer 2 to 3 questions and you will win our prize for one of our listeners. Bill, who is Cynthia Nixon playing for?
James Lee of Seattle, Washington.
All right. Here... You ready? I'm judging from your reaction that you are not perhaps the most avid basketball fan.
I am not, although I will tell you a fun fact that, you know, Miranda dated Dr. Robert Blair Underwood, who was the sports doctor fictionally for the Knicks.
Right. So it means you were practically in the locker room. Okay.
Exactly.
Here is your first question. When LeBron James was leaving Cleveland, the Knicks pulled out all the stops to try to convince LeBron James to come to New York and play. They even did what? A, they had Times Square officially renamed LeBron James Square. B, they sent the actual Broadway cast of Phantom of the Opera to his house in Cleveland to perform for him. Or C, they had Edie Falco and James Gandolfini film a new secret ending to The Sopranos just for him.
Oh, man. What was the middle one?
Middle one was sending the entire Broadway cast of Phantom of the Opera to his house to welcome him.
Would he care? Would he care to have the... I'm going to go with the first one. I'm going to go with renaming Times Square.
You're going to LeBron James Square. I don't blame you. I find this hard to believe, too, but they had Edie Falco and James Gandolfini film a scene.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
It has Tony. I hope this is still available somewhere. I have not been able to find it. But it has Tony and Carmela Soprano trying to find LeBron a nice apartment. And yet he went to Miami. Who knew? Okay. You have 2 more chances.
Okay.
James Dolan is the owner of the New York Knicks and Madison Square Garden where they play. He's an innovator in sports entertainment. For example, he uses facial recognition technology at Madison Square Garden to do what? A, identify attractive audience members and make sure they're seated courtside where the cameras can see them. B, make sure any couple is legally married to each other before showing them on the kiss cam. He was a pioneer in that, maybe. Or C, find any of the many lawyers suing him and prevent them from entering the building.
Oh, number 3.
There you are.
Yes.
That's right. The answer was C. James Dolan gets sued a lot. Okay, here's your next question. A New York Times reporter credited what event with loosening the tension in the locker room before a pivotal playoff game against their rivals, the Pacers, last year. Was it A, quote, an epic fart in the locker room, B, the coach giving all the players popsicles, or C, the entire team joining in a karaoke performance of Katy Perry's Roar?
I say roar.
I think Cynthia is so classy that roar is what she calls a fart.
Is that what you're encouraging me? You're encouraging me to go with farts?
I believe that's what they call farts in the Gilded Age.
Did somebody roar?
All right, I don't think it's the popsicles. Why would that matter? Let's go with the fart.
It was, of course, an epic fart.
Excellent.
The New York Times reporter refused to reveal who was responsible for the, quote, epic fart that broke the tension and led the team to a big win. But it is true that Jalen Brunson walked onto the court looking 15 pounds lighter. Bill, how did the legendary Cynthia Nixon do in our quiz?
A win, 2 out of 3. The fart wins.
Cynthia Nixon is a Grammy, Tony, and Emmy-winning performer who you can see on HBO's The Gilded Age, which is streaming right now. Cynthia Nixon, what an absolute joy to talk to you. Thank you so much for being with us. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Take care, Cynthia. Bye-bye.
That's it for our own personal Olympics. We'll be back next week. But first, let me tell you that Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me is a production of NPR and WBEZ Chicago in association with Urgent Haircut Productions. Doug Berman, Benevolent Overlord. Philip Gotica writes our limericks. Our public address announcer is Paul Friedman. BJ Liederman composed our theme. Our program is produced by Jennifer Mills, Miles Dornbos, and Lillian King. Special thanks to Monica Hickey. Peter Gwynn won bronze and just confessed to cheating on us. Our visuals host is Emma Choi. Technical direction, Lorna White. Our CFO is Colin Miller. Our production manager is Robert Newhouse. Our senior producer is Ian Chillag. The executive producer of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me is Mike Danforth. Thanks to everyone you heard, all our panelists, all our guest scorekeeper, Alzo Slade, and of course, Bill Curtis. And thanks to all of you for listening. I'm Negin Farsad, and we'll see you next week. Woo! This is NPR.
This message comes from Jerry. Most drivers overpay for car insurance because the system is needlessly complicated. Jerry fixes that by handling all the insurance shopping legwork for you. Compare 50-plus insurers side by side and purchase your policy directly in the app. No spam calls, no hidden fees. They'll even monitor price trends and can alert you to better rates. Drivers who save with Jerry could save over $1,300 a year. Download the Jerry app or visit jerry.ai/NPR today.
Support for this podcast and the following message come from sponsor Mint Mobile. Got a big spending hangover after the holidays? This January, quit overspending on wireless with a limited time offer for 50% off unlimited premium wireless at mintmobile.com/wait. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months and $90 for 6 months or $180 for 12 months. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Above 50 gigabytes. Network may slow when busy. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com.